What's going on, everybody? I'm Jay Williams. This is the Sports Collective. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I greatly appreciate it. Look, we're going to get straight into it. I know I'm about a day late on some of these issues or some of these videos. We're going to revisit what Stephanie White had to say and my biggest problem I had with her comments on why the Indiana Fever didn't offer Justine Pissott an offer sheet. We're going to get into what Becky Hammon had to say after Justine Pissott's amazing game. If you don't know, she scored 19 points in 10 minutes. Yes, you heard that correctly. I said 19 points in 10 minutes. And then we also go get into a little bit of what Dan Patrick had to say about how the commissioner, Kathy, basically left him on red after agreeing to do a sit-down interview with him. And also we're going to get into a little bit of what I expect from tonight's game. I guess expectations, or me saying expect, is probably not the right thing to say because honestly, I don't know what to expect from this team. Well, let's just say we're going to get into what I hope to see from tonight's game against the Fever versus the Aces. So let's get straight into it.
And if other teams need them as well.
And you obviously mentioned Grace coming on a standard contract. And with Demir Stantis, too, what do you like about them kind of near the end of the bench to kind of decide to keep them on the standard?
First and foremost, great culture players. Great culture teammate.
If you didn't notice, I think the reporter who is asking this question, I think this is a great question. I think the way she phrased it was a great question. She basically said, hey, you got two players at the end of the bench. She basically saying you got two players that don't play. You got two players who are not consistent in the rotation and getting the playing minutes. What do you like about them so bad that you let a 22-year-old rookie who some coaches and some scouts have stated that she's one of the best shooters, if not the best shooter in the country. And she's saying, why did y'all not offer her an offer sheet when you have two players at the end of the bench, really three, because Bree Hall doesn't play much at all. You have three players that you could have easily waived one and added Justine Pissott to the bench. Why did you not do that? And Stephanie White, the only thing she can say is, well, they're great culture players. Well, what culture? I'm so sick of this word culture when it comes to the Indiana Fever organization. And Stephanie White, especially from you, because in your history has showed that everywhere you have been, it turns out the culture wasn't that great. We know what happened in Vanderbilt. There's some stories that came out about Connecticut. So I'm sick of this culture word. It means nothing to me. It's like it's a word y'all have to say on every interview. I don't know. It's frustrating. I can't even get too mad. It's so frustrating with this organization. And like I said in one of my previous videos, we can leave the drama to the side and get to that another day. It's enough basketball to talk about and how just incompetent I feel this organization is when it comes to making basketball decisions, when it comes to the game plan, how you use your players. Like it's crazy. It's crazy.
They're going to continue to be ready when their number's called. Grace is a young player who I think can really develop into a solid four in this league. Dee Dee's a veteran who understands how to stay ready so she doesn't have to get ready.
You know the crazy thing about her saying this is obviously Justine knew how to stay ready so she didn't have to get ready. I don't think she played in one game this year. Her first game as a rookie, she came in and scored 19 points in 10 minutes. If that's not staying ready so you don't have to get ready, I don't know what is.
Play in certain lineups and certain matchups, who are going to give us great minutes in practice certainly as well, and who are going to help continue to evaluate and build and pour into our culture.
Here she go with the culture word. And what players evaluate? So the players are evaluating the culture. Let's listen to that one more time because I'm confused at this point.
And who are going to help continue to, who are going to give us great minutes in practice certainly as well, and who are going to help continue to evaluate and build and pour into our culture.
So I guess Dantas and Van Sluten, who I don't know much about Van Sluten, but she basically said they're going to help evaluate and pour into the culture. What does that mean? Somebody please ask this woman, what does that mean? Stephanie White, I'm tired. I don't think you're a good coach, and it's nothing personal. I would never call you out your name. I would never disrespect you personally. I don't know you personally. I can keep it to basketball, and I say I don't think you're a good coach. I don't think you're a good fit for this team. I think this team is confused. I think that's why they play so differently. When I say differently, I mean energy levels. I mean it's just I don't think you have set a precedent to what this team is supposed to do. I don't, and it's frustrating because you love talking about this word culture, when obviously it means nothing. That word means nothing to me. Right. In other sports and other teams, it might Miami Heat. We all know about the Miami Heat culture. For your organization, that word means nothing. I wish you stopped saying it. I wish you stopped saying it. But we're gonna leave that where it's at. I think that was a horrible decision. I think the Indiana Fever front office has made multiple bad basketball decisions on so many levels. Right. We don't have to get into it, but Monique Billings, bring her over here for $1.6 million over 2 years, who's a career backup, and pushing her to the starting lineup, and you're expecting what? I don't even blame Monique Billings. Monique Billings, get your money. But the Indiana Fever organization has done so much just nonsense. It's almost unthinkable. It's almost unthinkable. It's unbelievable. But we're going to leave that where it's at. Let's get into what Becky Hammon had to say about Justine Pissott's performance.
Was able to get some minutes today. Just what about her and being on the court did you like to see, and just what are some other things you would like to see her work on?
I mean, I just met her. So what I will say is we watched a lot of tape on her at Vanderbilt. Obviously, you guys know I love shooters, and she could shoot that thing. So that's why we went out and got her. I was happy to, she made some nice basketball reads as well, not just the shooting. So we're really excited to have her with our group. But that's quite a debut for a rookie coming in and getting 19 in 10 minutes.
All right, so that was Becky Hammon comments on Justine Pissott. Like she said, she scored 19 points in 10 minutes. I think the most revealing thing about this situation is the Aces. I think obviously they was going to cut Carter no matter what. I think that's pretty obvious. There was something going on there. They was going to cut her. I think the eye opener about what they did was they gave her a spot to a rookie that was on a development roster for another team. That spot could have gone to anybody. Like, let's be clear. That spot could have gone to anybody. For them to think so highly of Justine Pissott, where they was willing to give her that last roster spot, I think that's just an indictment on the Indiana Fever's organization once again. And Becky Hammon, she's going to throw her in there. Regardless if it was a blowout or not, she's going to throw her in there, and she's going to see what she can do. And I do think she's going to make the rotations before the end of the year, even if that's just 10 minutes a game, because she's a sharpshooter. She's going to space the floor for Jackie Young. She's going to space the floor for Chelsea Gray. She's going to space the floor, for Asia Wilson. And even though Chelsea Gray's not a shooter, she's a good passer. So with Pissott on the floor, the lanes open up, the passing lanes open up. A sharpshooter, a 3-and-D player, is one of the most valuable things in basketball right now. That's where the game has gone, and that's where it is staying right now. So the fact that the Indiana Fever just let her go for nothing on the backs of Dantes or Vasluden or Bree Hall, to me, that's a fireable offense. That's a fireable offense, given the context of everything else that has gone on. Somebody has to wake up in this organization. And I don't think they're going to fire Stephanie White. We all know they're connected. Amber Cox, Kelly Krauskopf, Lynn Dunn, Stephanie White, they're all connected. They're like the Four Musketeers. They added one. They're the Four Musketeers. So I don't think nothing's going to change, at least this year. It's sad, man. This team has almost taken all of my joy watching the Indiana Fever. I'm still gonna watch because I'm still a Caitlin Clark fan. I still enjoy watching her play and some other players too in the league. But this team has just taken the joy out of everything, and it's so frustrating. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. I already think it was a mental mistake. But we'll see. So right now we're gonna get into Dan Patrick and what he had to say about Kathy, and it's eye-opening. Let's get into it.
Today we were hoping to do an interview with Kathy Engelbert. She's the WNBA commissioner. Todd spoke to her a couple of nights ago, and we had a pairings party. Todd went up to her. She's been very friendly to the show. Last year at this event was friendly to us. And Todd said, hey, we'd love to have you on. There's a lot of questions. People have not heard answers from the commissioner. And she said yes. So yesterday, after the show, we waited almost 2 hours for her. This was scheduled. She was going to do a meeting in her hotel room, a conference call, and then she was going to join us. So Fritzy, for at least 90 minutes, is looking just for an update. We're trying to figure, we're standing by, we're waiting to interview her. They didn't, balk at anything, didn't say you can't ask anything, and we thought, okay, we're going to be able to finally ask questions about Caitlin Clark, the WNBA expansion, a lot of different things. And we waited and we waited and we waited. And then we got word, Todd did, that the commissioner said that the WNBA staff, the PR staff, said that she is not allowed to do this.
That's a joke. That's a joke. If anything, this would have brought a lot of respect to her, who's probably has no respect from the majority of fans and even players in her own league. So for you to listen to a PR team who says it's probably a bad PR move, it's ridiculous. It would have been a great PR move. You would have gained some respect. You know why? Because like Dan said and is going to say, he would have asked the hard questions. And that's something we haven't seen Kathy do. Go sit down somewhere, answer the hard questions. It's a lot of questions surrounding this league. It's a lot of questions surrounding this league. And you have yet to just sit down and address it. Even if you don't agree, you can come out and say, hey, I don't agree with nothing that's going on with the narratives that's being spoken about me or my league, but at least you there and you answering the hard questions. And for you to do that to somebody who has a lot of respect in the media space, I'm talking about Dan here, it shows where this league it shows where this league has been and will always be, as long as you have this woman as the leader of your organization and your league. It's a joke. It's a joke.
They would prefer that she did not do this. You're the commissioner, and you're listening to the PR department, which is fine, but did you check with PR before you said yes to us? We promoted it all day yesterday. Now,
hey, quick shout out to the background. That's a beautiful background. I would love to do a podcast there.
Look, I know people get busy. People have agendas. The people, like, it was her opportunity to finally say, hey, you can ask me the tough questions, okay? I thought this was going to be a good thing for the WNBA.
It would have been. It would have been.
People still want answers here. There's so many people who have an opinion, agendas here. And this was a chance to sit down. And yes, would the questions be tough? Yes. Yes.
And we have heard this in the past. We have heard teams doing this, especially in the WNBA. They'll screen your questions after games, before games. If you're not asking the right questions, they won't even allow you in the room most of the time. And if they do allow you in the room because you have you work for a respectable media company, they won't pick on you to ask questions. We have heard stories about this. Reporters have came out and said that they wasn't picked on based off the questions that the PR team knew they was going to ask. So this is not new. This is not news. It's just another level of disrespect because of who you're doing it to. And Dan Patrick has been a respectable media face and voice around sports for a long time now. So I'm not surprised, but it just shows the level of disrespect that this league and Kathy specifically is willing to go to. She doesn't care. I guarantee you, she does not care. I have not seen Kathy care about anything over the past 3 years that I've been watching this league. Nafisa Collier comes out, call her out. She doesn't address that. She beats around the bush. She's been getting called out on ESPN, and even though ESPN has their own issues of how they cover the WNBA, there are certain people on there who has held them accountable. And she's been called out on ESPN and Fox Sports and all these different platforms. She does not care. She does not care. I'm just glad Dan Patrick spoke about it. So maybe his voice can reach a larger crowd and they can know what we've been knowing for the past 3 years, that this league and the commissioner is a joke. It's it's flat out joke. It's a flat out joke.
And I'm sure that had something to do with it. But She went on a radio station in Kansas City, but from what I was told, she was only going to be asked about expansion. They were not going to be, tough questions.
And that's another thing. We got to address this suspension issue. This league don't need to be expanded teams. There's not enough talent right now in the WNBA for you to be adding 2, 3, 4 teams. Work with what you got. Build what you have. Build what you have. You have a lot of issues right now you need to work out in your own league before you just start adding teams. I don't believe there's enough talent just yet, for you to be just adding all these teams. But that's a topic for another day.
So it's just disappointing. Go back to when the Caitlin Clark incident happened. We reached out to the WNBA all morning long. We needed, just give us a comment. Does anybody have a comment on this? Is anybody there at the office? We couldn't get a hold of anybody. So Paulie, during the show, is trying to track down somebody so we can at least let the WNBA have their say, have their voice, get out in front of this. We're just trying to be a journalist here. That's all. We're just trying to ask questions. But don't say yes, and then all of a sudden somebody probably said, in my opinion, oh, maybe we shouldn't do this. Well, at some point, you have to do this. I mean, if you want to be treated as a serious league, then do these. This is what happens.
But that's the thing, Dan. I don't think, and it sounds crazy to say. I know it probably sounds crazy to say, and I would probably hear this without knowing anything about the WNBA and think I'm just probably he's lost it. He's just some conspiracy theorist, which I'm not. But the WNBA, I don't believe they care about how their league is looked at from a basketball perspective, from a sports perspective. Like, seriously, this league has been about agenda, and about pushing their political views for the past 30 years. They have. And so now when you have sports fans coming in who's trying to address the game and what's going on the court, they don't know how to react to that. Kathy doesn't know how to sit down and answer hard questions. She doesn't. She never had to do it. She never had to do it. So no, Dan, I don't think they care if their league has been taken seriously from a basketball perspective. And that's the sad part.
These are tough questions, but this is a fair outlet for you, a fair platform. I will treat you with respect. But when you tell me, and then 2 hours later with no update, and then we get a feeble response, like, come on. You don't want to do it. You won't. The commissioner of the NFL does not want to come on this show. I've been doing this for 20 years. There's a reason why he doesn't want to come on. I have no problem if he doesn't want to come on. But if he said to me, hey, I'll come on tomorrow, and then all of a sudden he says the NFL PR department said I shouldn't do it. And she's 50 yards away. She's hitting practice shots out of the bunker.
That's the most disrespectful thing. She was at the golf course he's at right now. That's where Kathy was. And so she agreed to do the interview. She stood him up for 2 hours. And she's just on the golf course just golfing. It's not serious, man. She's not serious. This league's not serious.
So that's what's disappointing. We deserve more respect than what she gave us yesterday. We want to cover the WNBA. The PR staff, somebody did a disservice to this. That's all.
And Adam Silver, I don't know how much power you have, but like I said in one of my last videos, you finna be on a chopping block. Like, you finna be on a chopping block. Because at the end of the day, the NBA owns 42% of this league. Y'all have been giving money to this league for the past 30 years. This league is in a position to grow and gain revenue. And if you just let this league sit in front of you and burn in front of your eyes, you need to be held as accountable as anybody else. That's the Adam Silver. All right, shout out to Dan. I think that was just totally disrespectful. But are we surprised? I'm not surprised, no. I'm not surprised, no. It's so disrespectful. The league needs to be better. Somebody needs to hold her and this league accountable. But lastly, before we get out of here, let's talk a little bit about the game tonight and what I hope to see. All right, so tonight, big game tonight, primetime game on NBC or Peacock, whichever you have. We have the Fever versus the Aces. Look, the Fever, I'm still holding out hope. Like I said, I don't think this is a championship roster, but I'm holding out hope that this team can just put together some solid wins. I'm a little bit nervous because, as you know, Stephanie White says CC probably is going to be on another minute restriction, 20 to 25 minutes. I think last game or the game before last, the debacle that we seen of her playing 2 minutes at a time. Like, Stephanie White, come on. Like, I don't know what to say to you at this point. Like, let's go. Is she healthy? Let her play. Let her play. This is a big game. It's a primetime game. You know, Aja Wilson is going to do her best to embarrass the Indiana Fever. Aaliyah Boston, you need to be tough in the paint. You can't be around the three-point line this game. You need to be in the paint. You need to be physical. Caitlin Clark, get back into your rhythm. Do your thing. Let it fly. Right? Lexi Hall, stay aggressive. We need you to not just be an energy player anymore. You need to start contributing to the offensive input. Drive the ball, take the midi, get to the free throw line. You're a good free throw shooter. Kelsey Mitchell, if you're not hitting your shots early, do what you did last game. Start passing the ball. You had 8 assists last game. I can't knock you. You had 8 assists last game. Do the same. If your shot's not falling early, just get the ball out your hands. Let's start getting a rhythm of offense. Let's get back to the engine that we know we can be with CC leading the head of the snake. Stephanie White, stay out the way. Like, just stay out the way this game. This is a primetime game. I'm nervous because I feel like you're going to try to, once again, your ego, you're going to try to prove that your system is the best system, this, that, and the third. And let's just see what happens. Let's see what happens. I don't know what to expect. I'm hoping the Indiana Fever wins. I think it's going to be a tough game. And we'll see what happens. Let me know what y'all think in the comment. I'm Jay Williams. This is the Sports Collective. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.